just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. It's in support of a really great cause, and we've had a lot of fun getting ready for the show tonight. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. I bet you're worried.
We were worried.
We were worried about vaginas.
We were worried what we think about vaginas. And we were even more worried that we didn't think about them. It's this strange space, completely dark and mysterious. They needed a context of vaginas, a community of vaginas, a culture of vaginas. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody ever reports back from there.
In the first place, it's not so easy to even find your vagina. Women go weeks, months, even years without looking at it. A high-powered businesswoman was interviewed and said she was too busy. She didn't have time for that. Looking at your vagina, she said, is a full day's work. You have to get down there on your back in front of a mirror that's standing on its own full-length preferred. You've got to get to the perfect position with the perfect light, which is then shadowed by the mirror and the angle you're at. You get all twisted up, you're arching your head, killing your back. You're exhausted by then. She said she didn't have time for that. She was busy.
So there were vagina interviews, which became the Vagina Monologues. Over 200 women were interviewed. Older women, young women, married women, single women, college professors, sex workers, corporate professionals, black women, Asian American women, Latino women, Jewish women. Okay. At first, women were a little reluctant to talk. They were a little shy. But once they got going, you couldn't stop them. Women secretly love to talk about their vaginas. Mainly because no one's ever asked them before.
Let's just start with the word vagina. It sounds like an infection. Maybe a medical instrument. Hurry, nurse, bring me the vagina. 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 No matter how many times you say it, it never sounds like a word you want to say. It's a completely unsexy word. If you use it during sex trying to be politically correct, baby, stroke my vagina. You kill the act right there.
We were worried about vaginas, what we call them and what we don't call them.
In Great Neck, New York, they call it a pussycat. A woman there said that her mother once said to her, "Don't wear panties under your pajama, dear. You need to air out your pussycat."
In Westchester, they call it a pookie.
In New Jersey, a twat.
There's a powder box, a poochie, a poopy, a peepee, a poopaloo, a punani, and a peach.
Toady, Dee-Dee, Nishi, Dignity, Monkey Box.
Coochie sorter, cooter, labe.
Gladys Siegelman.
VA, wee-wee, horse spot, nappy dugout.
Mongo, mookie, a pajama, fanny boo, mushmallow.
Aguli, possible, tamale, totita, and Connie.
A Mimi in Miami.
A split knish in Philadelphia.
And a schmendy in the Bronx.
We were worried about vaginas.
Some of the monologues are based on one woman's story. Some of the monologues are based on several women's stories surrounding the same theme, and a few times a great idea became an outrageous one. This monologue is based on one woman's story, although the subject came up in every interview and was often fraught. The subject being
hair. You cannot love a vagina unless you love hair. Many people do not love hair. My first and only husband hated hair. That was cluttered and dirty. He made me shave my vagina. It looked puffy and exposed like a little girl. This excited him. When he made love to me, my vagina felt the way a beard must feel. It was painful, felt good to scratch. like scratching a mosquito bite. Felt like it was on fire. There were screaming red bumps. I refused to shave it again. Then, my husband had an affair. When we went to marital therapy, he said I wouldn't please him sexually. The therapist had a German accent and gasped between sentences to show her empathy. She asked me why I didn't want to please my husband. I told her I thought it was weird. I felt little when hair was gone down there, and I couldn't help talking in a baby voice, and the skin got irritated, and even calamine lotion wouldn't help it. She told me marriage was a compromise. I asked her if shaving my vagina would stop my husband from screwing around. I asked her if she had had many cases like this before. She said questions diluted the process. She was sure it was a good beginning. This time, when we got home, he got to shave my vagina. It was like a therapy bonus prize. He clipped it a few times, and there was some blood in the bathtub. He didn't even notice because he was so happy shaving me. Then later, when my husband was pressing against me, I could feel his spiky sharpness sticking into me, my naked, puffy vagina. There was no protection. There was no fluff. I realized then that hair is there for a reason. It's the leaf around the flower. It's the lawn around the house. You have to love hair in order to love the vagina. You can't pick the parts you want. And besides, my husband never stopped screwing around.
All of the women were asked the following questions. If your vagina got dressed, what would it wear?
Glasses, a beret, leather jacket, silk stockings, mink, a feather boa.
A male tuxedo, jeans, something form-fitting.
Emeralds, an evening gown,
Sequins.
Armani only.
a tutu, see-through black underwear, a taffeta ball gown,
Something machine washable.
A costume eye mask. Purple velvet pajamas. Angora. A red bow.
ermine and pearls, a leopard hat, a silk kimono, and a tattoo.
An electrical shock device to keep unwanted strangers away.
High heels. Lace and combat boots. Purple feathers, twigs, and shells. Cotton.
A pinafore,
A bikini.
a slicker,
If your vagina could talk, what would it say? 2 words.
Slow down.
is that you?
Feed me. I want. Yum, yum. Oh yeah.
Start again. No, over there. Lick me. Stay home. Great choice.
Think again. More, please. Embrace me. Let's play.
Don't stop. More. Remember me?
Come inside. Not yet. Whoa, mama. Yes, yes. Rock me.
Enter at your own risk.
Oh God. Thank God. I'm here. Let's go, let's go. Find me.
Thank you. Bonjour. Too hard. Don't give up.
Where's Brian? That's better. Yes, there. There.
ages of 65 and 75 were interviewed. These women were the most poignant, possibly because many of these women had never had a vagina interview before. Only one woman, who was 72, had never even seen her vagina. She watched herself in the shower and bath, but never with conscious intention. She never had an orgasm. At 72, she went into therapy, as they do in New York, and with the help of her therapist, she went home one afternoon by herself. She lit some candles, took a bath, played some music, and she got down with herself. She said it took over an hour because she was arthritic, but when she finally found her clitoris, she said she cried. This monologue is for her.
Down there? I haven't been down there since 1953. No, it had nothing to do with Eisenhower. No, it's a cellar down there. It's very damp and clammy. You don't want to go down there, trust me. It's nauseating. Very sickening. The smell of clamminess and the mildew gets in your clothes. Whoop! It smells unbearable. No, there was no accident down there. It didn't blow up or catch fire or anything. It wasn't so dramatic. I mean, well, never mind. No, never mind. I can't talk to you about this. What's a smart girl like you going around asking old ladies about their down there's for? We didn't do this kind of thing when I was a girl. What? Jesus, okay. There was this boy, Andy Lefkoff. He was cute, well, I thought so. And tall like me. And I really liked him, and he asked me out for a date in his car. I can't tell you this, I can't do this, talk about down there. You know, it's just there. It's like the cellar. There's rumbles down there, and sometimes you can hear the pipes, and things get caught in there, little animals and things. And it gets wet, and sometimes people have to come and plug up the leaks. Otherwise, the door stays closed. You forget about it. I mean, it's part of the house, but you don't see it every day. It's like the cellar. Oh, Andy Lefkoff, right. Andy was very good looking. He was a catch. That's what they used to call it in my day. We were in his new car, a new white Chevy Bel Air. I remember thinking that my legs were too long for the seat. I have long legs. They were smushed up against the dashboard, and I was looking at my big kneecaps when he just kissed me in this surprisingly take me by surprise like they do in the movies kind of way. And I got so excited. So excited. There was a flood down there. I couldn't control it. It was like this river of passion, this river of life just came flooding out of me, right onto the car seat of his new white Chevy Bel Air. It wasn't pee, and it was smelly. Well, frankly, I didn't smell anything at all, but he said, it smelled like sour milk, and it was staining the seats of his brand new white Chevy Bel Air. I was a stinky, weird girl, he said. I tried to explain I wasn't normally like this, and I tried to wipe up the flood with my dress, with my new yellow primrose dress that looked so ugly with the flood on it. Andy drove me home without saying another word. And when I got out and closed his car door, I closed the whole store. Locked it, never opened again. I dated some after that, but the idea of flooding made me too nervous. I never even got close again. I used to have dreams, crazy dreams. Oh, they're dopey. Why? Burt Reynolds. I don't know why, he never did much for me in life, but in my dreams, it was always Burt and I. Burt and I, Burt and I. It was always the same general dream. We'd be out, Burt and I. It was some fancy restaurant like you see in Atlantic City, with the big chandeliers and the thousands of waiters with the vests. Burt would give me this orchid corsage, and I'd pin it on my blazer. We'd laugh. We were always laughing, Burt and I. Laughing. We'd eat shrimp cocktail, huge, fabulous shrimp. We'd laugh more. We were very happy together. Then he'd look into my eyes, and he'd pull me close to him in the middle of the restaurant, and just as he was about to kiss me, everything would start to shake. The tables would start to shake. Pigeons would fly out from underneath the tables. I don't know what the pigeons were doing under there. And the flood would come straight from down there, and it would pour, and there would be fish and little boats inside of it. And the whole restaurant would fill with my flood, and Bert would look at me so disappointed, standing waist deep in it. So disappointed in me that I'd done it again. Horrified as he watched his friends, Dean Martin and the like, swim past us in tuxedos and evening gowns. I don't have those dreams anymore. Not since they took away just about everything connected with down there. Moved out the uterus, the tubes, the whole works. The doctor thought he was being funny. He told me, if you don't use it, you lose it. But really, I found out it was cancer. Everything around it had to go. Who needs it anyway? Highly overrated. I've done other things. I love the dog shows. I sell antiques. You asked me what would it wear. What kind of a question is that, what would it wear? It would wear a big sign, closed due to flooding. What would it say? I told you it's not like that. It's not a person who speaks, it's a place. It stopped being a thing that talked a long time ago. It's a place you don't go. It's closed up under the house. It's down there. You happy? You made me talk, you got it out of me. You got an old lady to talk about her down there. You feel better now? You know, actually, you're the first person I ever told about this. And I feel a little better.
The clitoris is pure in purpose. It is the only organ in the body designed purely for pleasure. The clitoris is simply a bundle of nerves, 8,000 nerve fibers to be precise. That is a higher concentration of nerve fibers found anywhere else in the male or female body, including fingertips, lips, and tongue. And it is twice the number in the penis. Who needs a handgun when you've got a semi-automatic?
As part of Eve's work to include the voices of all women who face violence, in 2005 she interviewed a diverse group of transgender women in preparing for creating this piece. Punishing the feminine was one overarching theme of the interviews. Some transgender women face violence from a very early age because they are so feminine or because they show inappropriate interests in things considered feminine. For others, violence comes later in life because they're not quite feminine enough. Those who do not pass as a member of the binary gender construct often get pushed to the fringes of society. This monologue moves from childhood through adversity and into maturity, wisdom, and joy of affirming who they are. Women.
At 5 years old, I was putting my baby sister's diapers on. I saw her vagina. I wanted one. I thought it would grow.
I thought I would open. I ate to belong, to smell like my mother. Her soft skin, her sweet aroma lived in my hair, on my skin. I ate to be pretty.
I wondered why I was missing my bathing suit at the beach. Why I wasn't dressed like the other girls. I ached to be completed. I ached to belong, to twirl my baton.
They assigned me a sex the day I was born. It's as random as being adopted or being assigned a hotel room on the 30th floor. It has nothing to do with who you are or your fear of heights. But in spite of the apparatus I was forced to carry around, I always knew that I was a girl.
They beat me for it. They beat me for crying. They pummeled me for wanting.
To touch,
To pet,
to hug,
to help,
to hold their hands,
for trying to fly in church like Sister Betrell,
for doing cartwheels,
crocheting socks.
carrying a purse to kindergarten.
They kicked the shit out of me every day on my way to school.
In the park, they smashed my magic marker painted nails.
They punched my lipsticked mouth. They beat the girl out of the boy.
Or they
Or they
tried.
tried.
So I went underground. I stopped playing the flute.
Be a man. Stand up for yourself. Go punch him back.
I grew a full beard.
It was good I was big.
I joined the Marines. Soldier up and stand on.
I became duller.
Jaded.
Sometimes cruel.
Butch it.
Butch it up. Butch it up. Always clenched, inaccurate, incomplete.
I ran away from home,
From school,
from boot camp,
ran to Miami,
Greenwich Village,
Aleutian Islands.
New Orleans,
I found gay people.
wilderness lesbians.
Got my first hormone shot. Got permission to be myself.
To transition, to travel, to immigrate. 350 hours of hot needles. I would count the man particles as they died. 16 man hairs gone.
The feminine is on your face. I lift my eyebrows. I'm curious. I ask questions.
And my voice, it's all about resonance. Sing song, practice, practice. Men are monotone and flat, but Southern accents are really excellent. Jewish accents really help too. Hello, my friend.
And my vagina is so much friendlier. I cherish it. It brings me joy.
The orgasms come in waves. Before, they were jerky.
I'm your girl next door.
My lieutenant colonel father ended up paying for it, my vagina.
My mother was worried what people would think of her, that she made this happen, until I came to church and someone said, "You have a beautiful daughter."
I got to be soft. I got allowed to touch. I am able to receive.
To be in the present tense.
People are so much nicer to me now.
I can wake up in the morning and put my hair in a ponytail.
A wrong was righted. I am right with God. It's like when you're trying to sleep and there's this loud car alarm. When I got my vagina, it was like somebody finally turned it off.
I live in the female zone. But you know how people feel about immigrants? They don't like it when you come from someplace else. They don't like it when you mix. They killed my boyfriend. They beat him insanely as he slept with a baseball bat. They beat this girl out of his head. They didn't want me dating a foreigner. Even though she was pretty and she listened and was kind. They didn't want him falling in love with ambiguity.
They were scared he'd get lost. They were that terrified of love.
This monologue was based off of an interview with a woman who had a good experience with a man.
This is how I came to love my vagina. It's embarrassing because it's not politically correct. I mean, I know it should have been in the bath with salt grains from the Dead Sea and Enya playing and me loving my woman self. I know the story. Vaginas are beautiful. Our self-hatred is only the internalized repression and hatred of the patriarchal culture. It isn't real. Pussies unite! I know all of it. Like, if we'd grown up in a culture where we taught fat thighs were beautiful, we'd all be spending our days drinking milkshakes and pounding back Krispy Kremes and thigh expanding. But we didn't grow up in that culture. I hated my thighs, and I hated my vagina even more. I was one of those women who had looked at it once and wished I'd never had. I thought it was incredibly ugly. It made me sick. I pitied anyone who had to go down there. In order to survive, I began to pretend there was something else between my legs. I imagined furniture, cozy futons with light cotton comforters, little velvet settees, leopard rugs, or pretty things, silk handkerchiefs, or, satin. Whenever a man was inside me, I pictured he was in a mink-lined muffler, a Chinese bowl. Then I met Bob. Bob was the most ordinary man I'd ever met. He was tall and thin and nondescript. He wore khaki tan clothes. He didn't like spicy foods or listen to Prince. He had no interest in sexy lingerie. In the summer, he spent time in the shade. He didn't share his inner feelings. He didn't have any problems or issues. He wasn't even an alcoholic. He wasn't very funny or articulate or mysterious. He wasn't mean or unavailable. He wasn't self-involved or charismatic. He didn't drive fast. I didn't particularly like Bob. I would have missed him altogether if it hadn't been for that day where he picked up my change I had dropped on the deli floor. When he handed me back my quarters and pennies and his hand accidentally touched mine, something happened, and I went to bed with him. That's when the miracle occurred. It turned out that Bob loved vaginas. He was a connoisseur. He loved the way they felt, the way they tasted, the way they looked. The first time we had sex, he told me he had to see me. I'm right here, I said. No, you, he said. I have to see you. Turn on the light, I said. I think he was one of those weirdos that's scared of the dark. He turned on the light. Then he said, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to see you. Right here, I waved him, right here. Then he began to undress me. What are you doing, Bob? I said. I need to see you, he replied. No need, I said, just do it. I need to see what you look like, he said. But you've seen a red leather couch before, I said. Bob continued. This is awfully intimate, I said. Can't you just do it? No, he said. It's who you are. I need to look. I held my breath. He looked and looked. He got breathy and his face changed. He didn't look ordinary anymore. He looked like a hungry beast. You're so beautiful, he said. You're elegant and deep and innocent and wild. You saw that there, I said. It was like he read my palm. I saw that, he said, and much, much more. He stayed looking for almost an hour, as if he were studying the moon. A map staring into my eyes, but it was my vagina. In the light, I watched him looking at me, and he was so genuinely excited, so peaceful and euphoric. I began to get wet and turned on. I began to see myself the way he saw me. I began to feel beautiful and delicious. like a great painting or a waterfall. Bob wasn't afraid. He wasn't grossed out. I began to swell, began to feel proud, began to love my vagina. And Bob lost himself in there. And I was there with him in my vagina, and we were gone.
This is a not-so-happy fact found in UNICEF's 2013 report, Female Genital Mutilation and Cutting, a statistical overview and exploration of the dynamics of change.
Female genital mutilation has been inflicted on approximately 200 million girls and young women. In the 30 countries where it is practiced, mostly in Africa, about 30 million young girls within the next decade are at risk of the knife, or the razor, or a glass shard to cut their clitoris or remove it altogether. In half of the countries, the majority of girls were cut before age 5. In the rest of the countries, most cutting occurs between 5 and 14 years of age. As many as 30 million girls are at risk of being cut over the next decade if current trends persist. In a man, it would range from amputation of most of the penis to removal of all of the penis. Short-term results include tetanus, hemorrhages, cuts in the urethra, bladder, and vaginal walls. Long-term, chronic uterine infection, increased agony and danger during childbirth, and early deaths.
Gentle, loving vagina, spending their days constructing psycho products and nasty ideas to undermine my pussy? China motherfuckers. All this shit they're constantly trying to shove us up, clean us up, stuff us up, make it go away. Well, my vagina's not going away. It's pissed off, and it's staying right here. Like tampons. What the hell is that? A lot of dry fucking cotton stuffed up there? Why can't they find a way to suddenly lubricate the tampon? As soon as my vagina sees it, it goes into shock. It closes up. It says, forget it. You need to work with the vagina. Introduce it to things, prepare the way. That's what foreplay is all about. You have to convince my vagina, seduce my vagina, engage my vagina's trust. You can't do that with a dry wad of fucking cotton. Stop shoving things up me. Stop shoving and stop cleaning it up. My vagina doesn't need to be cleaned up. It smells good already. Don't try and decorate. Don't believe him when he tells you it smells like rose petals when it's supposed to smell like pussy. That's what they're doing. Trying to clean it up, make it smell like bathroom spray or garden. All those douche sprays, floral, berry, rain. I don't want my pussy to smell like rain. All cleaned up like washing a fish after you cooked it. I want to taste the fish. That's why I ordered it. Then there's those exams. Who thought them up? There's got to be a better way to do those exams. Why this scary paper dress that scratches your tits and crunches when you lie down? Do you feel like a lot of paper someone threw away? Why the rubber gloves? Why the flashlight all up there like Nancy Drew working against gravity? Why the Nazi steel stirrups and mean cold ducklets they shove inside you? What's that? My vagina is angry about those visits. It gets defended weeks in advance. It won't go out of the house. Then you get there. Don't you hate that? Scoot down. duck lips inside it? I don't think so. Why can't they find some delicious purple velvet and wrap it around me? Lay me down on some feathery cotton spread. Put on some friendly pink or blue gloves. And rest my feet in some fur-covered stirrups. Warm up the duck lips. Work with my vagina. But no. More tortures. Dry water fucking cotton. Cold duck lips. And thong underwear. That's the worst. Thong underwear. Who thought that up? Moves around all the time, gets stuck in the back of your crusty butt. Vaginas are supposed to be loose and wide, not held together. That's why girls are so bad. You need to move and spread and talk and talk. Vaginas need comfort. Make something like that. Something to give them pleasure. No, of course they won't do that. Hate to see a woman having pleasure, particularly sexual pleasure. I mean, make a nice pair of soft cotton underwear with a French tickler built in. Women will be coming all day long, coming in the supermarket, coming on the subway, coming happy vaginas. They wouldn't be able to stand it, seeing all those energized, not taking shit, hot, happy vaginas. If my vagina could talk, it would talk about itself like me. It would talk about other vaginas. It would do vagina impressions. It would wear Harry Winston diamonds. No clothes, just there, all draped in diamonds. My vagina helped release a giant baby. It thought it would be doing more of that. It's not. Now it wants to travel. It doesn't want a lot of company. It wants to read and know things and get out more. It wants sex. It loves sex. It wants to go deeper. It's hungry for depth. It wants kindness. It wants change. It wants silence and freedom and gentle kisses and warm liquids and deep touch. It wants chocolate. It wants to scream. It wants to stop being angry. It wants to come. It wants to want. It wants. My vagina? My vagina? Huh. It wants everything.
Bosnian women refugees were interviewed during the war in Yugoslavia in refugee camps and centers. Between 1992 and 1995, 50 to 60,000 women were raped in the middle of Europe as a systematic tactic of war. Around the world, we see this atrocious violence repeated in violent conflict. At the height of the war over minerals in the Democratic Republic of Congo, 1,152 women were raped every day. That's 48 per hour, totaling over 420,000 women in 1 year, many of whom were raped multiple times. In Colombia, nearly 500,000 women were raped between 2001 and 2009. In a 9-month period, over 200,000 women were raped in Bangladesh in the 1970s, and numbers are yet to be determined for the women who are currently suffering through systematic sexual violence in Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, and South Sudan. It is shocking to see how little people do to stop it or even acknowledge it. But then again, in the United States each year, about 200,000 women are raped, and in Canada, 1 in 4 women will experience sexual violence, which is another kind of war. This monologue is based on one woman's story. We do it tonight for that woman and the extraordinary women of Bosnia and Kosovo.
My vagina was green, water soft, pink field, cow mooing, sun resting, sweet boyfriend touching lightly with a soft piece of blonde straw. There is something between my legs now. I do not know what it is. I do not know where it is. I do not touch. Not anymore. Not now. Not since. My vagina was chatty. So chatty. I can't quit saying words, talking. So much saying. Can't quit trying. Oh yes. Oh yes. Not since I dreamed there's a dead animal sewn down there with thick black fishing line. And that animal smell cannot be removed. Its throat is slit, and it bleeds through all my summer dresses. My vagina singing all girl songs, all gold bell ringing songs, all wild autumn field songs. Vagina songs, vagina home songs. Not since they shoved a long, thick rifle inside me. So cold, the steel rod canceling my heart. Don't know whether they're going to fire it or shove it through my spinning brain. 6 of them, monstrous doctors with black masks, shoving bottles at me too. There were sticks and the end of a broom. My vagina, swimming clean water, clear, soft running water, over clit stones, stone clit over and over. Not since I heard the skin tear and made lemon screeching sounds, and a part of my vagina fell off in my hand. Part of the lip. Now inside is completely gone. My vagina. A live, wet water village. My vagina. My hometown. Not based since they took turns for 7 days, smelling like feces and smoked meat. They left their dirty sperm inside me. I became a river of poison and pus, and all the crops died, and the fish. My vagina, a live, wet water village. They invaded it, butchered it, burned it down. I do not touch now. Do not visit. I live someplace else now. I don't know where that is.
My short skirt is not an invitation, a provocation, an indication that I want it, or give it, or that I hook. My short skirt is not begging for it. It does not want you to rip it off of me or pull it down. My short skirt is not a legal reason for raping me. Although it has been before, it will not hold up in the new court. My short skirt, believe it or not, has nothing to do with you. My short skirt is about discovering the power of my lower calves, about cool autumn air traveling up my inner thighs, about allowing everything I see to pass or feel to live inside. My short skirt is not proof that I'm stupid, or undecided, or a malleable little girl. My short skirt is my defiance. I will not let you make me afraid. My short skirt is not showing off. This is who I am, before you made me cover it up, or tone it down. Get used to it. My short skirt is happiness. I can feel myself on the ground. I'm here, and I'm hot. My short skirt is a liberation flag in the women's army. I declare these streets, any streets, my vagina's country. My short skirt is turquoise water with swimming colored fish, a summer festival in the starry dark, a bird calling, a train arriving in a foreign town. My short skirt is a wild spin, a full breath, a tango dip. My short skirt is initiation, it's appreciation, excitation. But mainly, my short skirt and everything underneath it is mine. Mine. Mine.
Memory. December 1965, 5 years old. My mama yells at me in a scary, loud, life-threatening voice to stop scratching my coochie snorcher. I get terrified. I scratched it off down there. I do not touch myself again, even in the bath. I'm terrified of the water getting in and filling me up till I explode. I put Band-Aids over the hole, but they fall off in the water. I imagine a stopper, a bathtub plug up there to prevent things from entering me. I sleep with 3 pairs of happy hot pattern underpants on underneath my stamp-up pajamas. I still want to touch myself sometimes, but I don't. Memory, 7 years old. Edgar Montaigne, who's 10, gets angry with me and punches me with all his might right between my legs. Feels like he breaks my entire self. I limp home. I can't pee. When my mama asks me what's wrong with my coochie snorcher and I tell her what Edgar did to me, she yells at me and says never to let anyone touch me down there again. I try to tell her, he didn't touch it, Mama. He punched it. Mary, 9 years old. I play on the bed, bouncing and falling, and impale my coochie snorcher on the bedpost. I make high-pitched screaming noises that come straight from my coochie snorcher's mouth. I get taken to the hospital and they sew it up down there from where it's been torn apart. Mary, 10 years old. I'm at my father's house and he's having a party upstairs. Everyone's drinking. I'm playing alone in the basement, trying on my new white cotton bra and panties my father's girlfriend gave me. Suddenly, my father's best friend, this big man Alfred, comes up behind me, pulls my new underpants down and sticks his big, hard penis in my coochie snorcher. I scream, I kick, I try to fight him off, but he still gets it in. My father stood there, and he has a gun, and there's a loud, horrible noise, and then there's blood all over Alfred and me. Lots of blood. I think my coochie snorcher is finally falling out. Alfred is paralyzed for life, and my mama doesn't let me see my father for 7 years. Mary, 13 years old. My coochie snorcher is a very bad place. Place of pain, punch, and nastiness, invasion, and blood. It's a sight for mishaps. It's bad luck, son. I imagine the freeway between my legs, and I am traveling, going far away from here. Mary, 16 years old. There's this gorgeous 24-year-old woman in my neighborhood, and I stare at her all the time. One day she invites me into a car. She asks me if I like to kiss boys, and I say I do not like that. And then she leans over and kisses me, so softly on the lips of her lips, and puts a tongue in my mouth. And wow. She asks me if I'd like to spend the night at her place, and then she kisses me again, She tells me to relax, to feel it, to let our tongues feel it. She asked my mom if I could spend the night, and my mother's delighted that such a beautiful, successful woman has taken an interest in me. I'm scared, but I can't wait. Her apartment's fantastic. It's the 70s, the beads, the fluffy pillows, the mood lights. I decided right there that I want to be a secretary like her when I grow up. She makes vodka for herself, and then she asks me what I want to drink. I say the same as she's drinking, and she says she doesn't think my mama would like me drinking vodka. I say she probably wouldn't like me kissing girls either, and pretty lady makes me a drink. Then it changes. This chocolate satin teddy. She's so beautiful. I always thought bull daggers were ugly. I say, you look great, and she says, so do you. And I say, but I only got this white cotton brown panties. And then she changes me into another satin teddy. It's lavender, like the first soft days of spring. The alcohol's gone on my head, and I am loose and ready. There's a picture over her bed of a naked black woman with a huge afro. She gently and slowly lays me out on the bed, and just our bodies rubbing makes me come. And then she shows me everything with my coochie snorts that I always thought was nasty before, but wow. I get crazy wild, and then the phone rings, and of course it's my mama. I'm sure she's figured it out. She catches me at everything. I'm breathing so heavy when I get on the phone, and she says, what's wrong with you? Have you been running? And I say, no, Mama, exercising. Then she tells the pretty lady to make sure I'm not around any boys, and lady tells her, trust me, there's no boys around here. Afterwards, she shows me everything about my coochie snorter. She is very thorough. She makes me play with myself in front of her. She tells me to always know how to give myself pleasure. That way I will never need to rely on a man. In the morning, I'm convinced I'll become a butch because I am so in love with her. She laughs, but I never see her again. I realized later she was my surprising, unexpected, and politically incorrect salvation. She transformed my sorry-ass coochie snorter, raised it into a kind of heaven.
We've created a map of vagina-friendly cities. Welcome, Lakehead University. They are wild for vaginas at Lakehead University. In fact, a woman from Lakehead was obsessed with a particular word, a pejorative word used to describe her vagina. Her mission was to reconceive the word. I
call it cunt. I've reclaimed it. Cunt. I really like it. Cunt. Listen to it. Cunt. C, cavern, cackle, clipped, cute, come close, see closed, inside, ca, then you, then ca, then curvy, inviting, shark skin, you, uniform, under, up, urge, you, then N, then cun, snug letters fitting perfectly together, N, nest, now, nexus, Nice, nice, always depth, always round in uppercase, con, and a jagged, wicked electrical pulse, nah, then soft and warm, and then con, then tea, then sharp, certain, tangy, tea, texture, take, tent, tight, tantalizing, tensing, taste, tendrils, time, tactile, tell me, cunt, say it, tell me, cunt.
A 6-year-old girl was asked, if your vagina got dressed, what would it wear?
A Mets cap, a red high tops and a Mets cap worn backwards.
If it could speak, what would it say?
Say words that begin with the letters P, V, and T. Turtle and violin are examples.
What does your vagina remind you of?
Pretty dark peach. Or diamond from a treasure I found and it's online.
What's special about your vagina?
Deep inside, it's got a really, really smart brain.
What does it smell like?
Snowflakes.
Sex workers have a rich, compelling, complex relationship with their vaginas. This particular woman blows my mind. She was a sex worker, but she only did sex work with women.
I love vaginas. I love women. I don't see them as separate things. Women pay me to dominate them, to excite them, to make them come. I didn't start out like this. No, to the contrary. I started out as a lawyer, but in my late 30s, I became obsessed with making women happy. I became my mission, of sorts. I got involved in it. I was very good at it. Kind of brilliant. It was my art. I started getting paid for it. It was as if I found my calling. I wore outrageous outfits when I dominated women. Lace, silk, leather. I used props, whips, handcuffs, ropes, dildos. There was nothing like this in tax law. There were no props, no excitement. And I hated those blue corporate suits, although I wear them now from time to time. In my new line of work, they serve quite nicely. There were no props in corporate law, no wetness, no dark, mysterious foreplay, no erect nipples, no delicious mouths, but mainly there was no moaning. Not the kind I'm talking about anyway. This was key, I see now. Moaning was the thing that ultimately seduced me and got me addicted to making women happy. When I was a little girl, I would see women in the movies making love, making strange orgasmic sounds. I used to laugh. I thought it was strange. I used to get strangely hysterical. I couldn't believe that big, outrageous, ungoverned sound came out of women. I longed to moan. I practiced in front of a mirror, a tape recorder, moaning various sounds, various tones, but always when I played it back, it sounded fake. It was fake. It wasn't rooted in anything sexual, only the desire for me to be sexual. But then I was 10 and I had to pee really badly once, so on a car trip. So I went on for almost an hour when I finally got to pee in this dirty little gas station. It was exciting. I moaned. I moaned as I peed. I couldn't believe it. Me, moaning in an Esso gas station in the middle of Thunder Bay. I realized then that the moans are connected with not getting what you want right away, with putting things off. I realized that moans were best when they caught you by surprise. They came out of this hidden, mysterious part that was speaking its own language. I realized that moans were, in fact, the language. I became a moaner. It made most men anxious. Frankly, it terrified them. I was loud and they couldn't concentrate on what they were doing. They'd lose focus. They'd lose everything. We couldn't make love in people's homes. The walls were too thin. I got a reputation in my building as people stared at me with contempt in the elevator. Men thought I was too intense. Some called me insane. I began to feel bad about moaning. I got quiet and polite. I made noise into the pillow. I learned to choke my moan, hold it back like a sneeze. I began to get headaches and stress-related disorders. I was becoming hopeless when I discovered women. I discovered that most women loved my moaning. But more importantly, I discovered how deeply excited I got when other women moaned, and I was responsible for that moan. I made love to quiet women and found this place inside of them, and they shocked themselves. In their moaning, I made love to moaners, and they found a deeper, more penetrating moan. Sometimes I found it over women's jeans. Sometimes I snuck up on it. Off the record, quietly dismantling the surrounding sounds, moving in. Sometimes I used force, but not the oppressing force. More like a dominating, I'm gonna take you someplace, don't worry, lay back and enjoy kind of force. Sometimes I was simply mundane. I found the moan before things even got started, while we were eating a salad or chicken. Just casual, right there, with my fingers. Here it is, like real simple in the kitchen, with my fingers covered in balsamic vinegar. Sometimes I used props. I loved props. Sometimes I made women find their own moan in front of me. I waited, stuck it out, until she opened herself. I wasn't fooled by the minor, more obvious moans. No. I pushed further, all the way into that power moan. There's the clit moan, the vaginal moan. There's the combo clit vaginal moan. There's the almost moan. The right on it moan. There's the elegant moan. The gray slick moan. The wasp moan. The Jewish moan. The black moan. Oh shit! The Irish moan. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. The mountaintop moan. The baby moan. The doggy moan. The uninhibited militant militant bisexual moan. There's the machine gun moan. There's the aching zen moan. The diva moan. The college moan. I should be studying. I should be studying. I should be. And finally, the surprise, triple, orgasmic moan.
Was performed for some time without any mention of birth. This was a bizarre admission. But then again, a male journalist recently asked, what's the connection? Our author, Eve Ensler, was present for the birth of her granddaughter. She was in awe of vaginas before. She's in deep worship now.
There when her vagina opened. We were all there, her mother, her husband, and I, and the nurse from the Ukraine with her whole hand up there in her vagina, feeling and turning with her rubber glove as she talked casually to us, like she was turning on a loaded faucet. I was there in the room when the contractions made her crawl on all fours, made unfamiliar moans leak out of her pores. And still there after hours, when she just screamed suddenly wild, her arms striking at the electric air. I was there when her vagina changed from a shy, sexual hole to an archaeological tunnel, a sacred vessel, a Venetian canal, a deep well with a tiny child stuck inside, waiting to be rescued. I saw the colors of her vagina. They changed. Saw the bruised, broken blue, the blistering tomato red, the gray pink, the dark. Saw the blood-like perspiration along the edges, saw the yellow, white liquid, the shit, the clots pushing out all the holes, pushing harder and harder. Saw through the hole, the baby's head, scratches of black hair, saw it just there, behind the bone, a hard, round memory, as the nurse from the Ukraine kept turning and turning her slippery hand. I was there when each of us, her mother and I, held a leg and spread her wide, pushing with all our strength against her pushing, telling, and her husband sternly counting, 1, 2, 3, telling her to focus, harder. We looked into her then. We couldn't get our eyes out of that place. We forget the vagina, all of us. What else would explain our lack of awe, our lack of reverence? I was there when the doctor reached in with Alice in Wonderland spoons, and there's her vagina became a wide, operatic mouth, singing with all of its strength. First the little head, then the gray flopping arm, then the fast swimming body, swimming quickly into our weeping arms. I was there later when I just turned and faced her vagina. I stood and let myself see her all spread, completely exposed, mutilated, swollen, and torn, bleeding all over the doctor's hands, who was calmly, so can the vagina. It can ache for us and stretch for us, die for us,
and bleed us into this difficult, wondrous world. I was there in the room. I remember.
That's the end of the show. Thank you, everybody. Really big thank you to the staff of the study. You've been so supportive throughout all of this. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to all of us and, of course, the Northwestern Ontario Women's Centre. So have a great